Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and today's video, I don't really have a lot to show you because I just started, I've been packing all week. I've been going through things, sorting things that I didn't get to sort. So that has been my main focus this week, as well as cutting bamboo, cutting grass, well, barnyard grass, that if I had my druthers, I would just pour kerosene gas all over everything and burn it to the ground. But can't do that, so not doing that. But I've been finding a lot of interesting things. In the midst of this, I found this skein of Karen cakes. And this is in the honeyberry color. I found it in a tote. You're not going to believe this. That had knickknacks in it. And then I also found a one-off skein of, I think that was Brick by Red Heart. And then the Mandela Harmony. Found that cake there. As well as a bag of cotton yarn. These are all cottons. I think they're sugar and cream. They may be peaches and cream. Oh, of course not. They're sugar and cream. Or concrete and cream. This one is a sugar and cream. But yeah, I found that. And I guess I used it to cushion some of the breakables. Who knows? I got nothing, folks. I have no clue what that was. But the funny thing is, the cats, when I come back in from cutting bamboo, I wear a certain pair of, well, I have two pairs of sneakers that I wear when I'm out there, depending on which part of the incline I'm on. But with the weed eater, because you can't mow it, you have to weed eat that grass because of the way the incline is and the way that he planted it, and he didn't bother contouring or anything, which is a nightmare. And then I have a machete and a pair of clippers for when I'm cutting things. Now, when I'm cutting some of the briars, I'll use the clippers to cut those out, to gather those out. But for the bamboo, I just use a machete and swing it. And my pastor's wife was asking me today about it. She said, "You're out there doing that by yourself?" I said, "Yeah, I get up about 5 a.m. And about 5:20 I'm out there swinging the machete, talking with God, telling God, come on, smite this. You could smite this right away. And I'm out there for about 3.5 hours working on it before it starts to get too hot and humid to do anything else. And then I come in and work on stuff in the house, in the garage. And she was laughing. She goes, "Well, what would you do if God did take it right out of there to begin with? All of a sudden, you got up in the morning and it was all gone." I started laughing and I said, "I don't think God will do that. We've been having a pretty good conversation." So I think that's why he's leaving it there for me to do. The only thing that I have been working on is the, what I had started was the moss stitch in the round. And now I'm adding in that off-white, or is it antique white? Gentle white, that I had from the Nicole Studio Classic. That was at AC Moore, because I stocked up on a lot of it. But what I did is I've decided, I'm kind of sick of the moss stitch, so I'm changing it up. And what I am doing is doing the Lisa stitch. If you don't know that, that is Happy to Hook Creations. Lisa does something for blankets that she does all the time that everybody's nicknamed the Lisa blanket. And it's the one where you do, normally you would do a double crochet in one stitch and then a single crochet in the next stitch. And then when you turn it, you would put a double crochet in the single crochet and then a single in the double crochet. But what Lisa does is she does a half double crochet. So that is what I am doing. Where the chain ones are for the moss stitch, I am putting a single crochet, and then where the single crochet was from the previous row, I am putting in a half double crochet. And I'm doing that all the way around. And then when I get to the corners, right now on this row, the corners wind up with me putting in a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in those corner slots. And so that if the next row comes up that I end on, I have to put a half double crochet, I would put a half double crochet into that chain 2 slot, chain 2 and half double crochet. But I don't think that's the way it's going to work out. I think it's going to work out, in my mind I'm going, well, if I'm putting half double crochets in the singles, then the next would be a single crochet, into the corners. So that's kind of what I've been doing there. And that is basically it. And I can tell you, all around me is chaos. You cannot see it, but it is total chaos. I have things here and there that need to be put into different boxes with different groups because a lot of things gotta remember when I was packing up, I was really grieving and I wasn't ready to get rid of a lot of things that held a lot of just memories. So I was just packing things into boxes so that it could be moved. And so now I have gone through and really gathering things and deciding if I'm going to keep it, get rid of it, that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's been a process in itself for this past week. And I did find it funny because I did find my Tunisian crochet stitch guide through there. I thought I had it, but I couldn't find it, so there it is. Now I have it ready and at hand to work on. I have not done any Tunisian Tuesday. There will not be Tunisian Tuesday this week. I do plan on filming section 6 of the crochet Tunisian shawl sometime this week, probably maybe Friday afternoon so that it can go up Saturday. And yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. So that's it. Cats have been having a great time jumping into boxes and all kinds of things. I'll go to put something in what I think is an empty box and there's a cat. So that has been rather interesting. Are you ready for the little what in Tarnation? Now, this next story is not so much a what in Tarnation, but it is for me in my mind. Because I'm thinking, for this to have happened, you had to be going pretty fast on those roads. So let me read the story. 5 hurt after vehicle plunges into Yellowstone geyser. Officials in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming have successfully removed a fully submerged vehicle from a geyser after the SUV went off the road and crashed. All 5 of the vehicle's occupants were able to escape from the vehicle without assistance and were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The crash occurred about 10:40 a.m. on Thursday as the vehicle left the pavement and crashed into the semi-centennial geyser thermal feature near Roaring Mountain in Wyoming. The location is between Mammoth Hot Springs and Norris Junction. Crews needed around 2 hours Friday to extract the vehicle from approximately 9 feet of water, requiring a full closure of the road. The geyser has acidic and hot surface water temperatures, typically sitting around 105 degrees. Officials did not elaborate on the extent or nature of the injuries to the 5 occupants of the vehicle. They are continuing to investigate the cause of the crash. The semi-centennial geyser was first discovered in 1922 on the park's 50th anniversary. Yellowstone National Park covers 2.22 million acres across 3 states. The majority of the wilderness destination is located in Wyoming, with parts in Idaho and Montana. In addition to geysers and hot springs, the park also features canyons, rapid alpine rivers, and dense forests. It is home to hundreds of animal species, including bears, wolves, and bison. And now the next story. Curly-haired pig is rescued after trailer escape on Pennsylvania highway. A pig named Dorothy was rescued from a busy Pennsylvania highway after escaping from her trailer. On the way to the vet, Allison Stevens, a volunteer with Eastern Snouts Pig Adoption, said she was taking Dorothy and another pig to the vet on Wednesday when the slippery swine managed to escape from her trailer on the ramp from Route 202 to eastbound Interstate 76 in King of Prussia. Pennsylvania State Police and multiple witnesses stopped to help Stevens wrangle Dorothy and give her a lift back into the trailer. Dorothy is a Hungarian Mangalica, a breed of domestic pig known for their long curly hair. Stevens said Dorothy got some slight road rash from her trailer tumble, but was otherwise uninjured. And it's an interesting pig to look at, to see the picture in the video. So, there's that. Longhorn steer uses horns to escape trailer onto Pennsylvania highway. Texas longhorn steer used its horns to undo the latch on the back of a trailer and made a dash for freedom on a Pennsylvania highway. Rhonda Collins said she and her family were on northbound Interstate 83 Wednesday afternoon in York County when they saw the steer in a trailer in front of them, appearing to rub its horns against the door latch. Collins said the door swung open and the horned Houdini jumped out onto the highway near the Fishing Creek exit. He rolled around a bit, Collins told the York Daily Record. Then he got up like nothing happened. Collins captured some footage of the bovine and spoke to the truck driver before continuing on her way. The steer was seen running off and on the highway, at one point visiting the front doors of local business, Handyside Plumbing, HVAC, and Electrical. The Fairview Township Police Department responded to the scene. With the help of numerous people, we were eventually able to get the steer loaded back into his trailer, police said in a statement. Crazy. Used toilet paper, all too a familiar sight at Yosemite National Park. The U.S. National Park Service is pleading with visitors to the Yosemite National Park to put a stop to a sight that's become all too familiar by not leaving their used toilet paper behind. NPS officials wrote on California's park's social media channels that rangers recently came across used toilet paper waving hello near Rancheria Falls, a full roll, too. Officials wrote that the discovery is just the latest in a string of used toilet paper discoveries in the park. The NPS asked visitors who bring toilet paper on their trips to make sure it also leaves the park with them. You can bring a sealable plastic baggie to stash it in, and even cover the bag in tape so you don't have to look at it, the post said, because really, nobody wants to stumble upon a surprise package left behind by an anonymous outdoor enthusiast. That's right. Officials also cautioned visitors against burying their used toilet paper, as weather, erosion, and digging animals would almost certainly return it to the surface before it biodegrades in 1 to 3 years. Some animals may even use it for nesting material. Ew, they wrote. Let's keep things clean and classy out there by packing out whatever you carry in. You know, there's that old saying, Leave it better than you found it. Llama escapes Maine property to avoid dental exam. I'm with you. I'm heading out that way too. Jeffrey, I'm right there with you. I hate dentists. Sorry to my dentist. I just don't like going. A llama bolted through his owner's gate in Bangor, Maine, and took a stroll through the neighborhood in an apparent attempt to avoid having his teeth cleaned. Rena Pesner, owner of Rebel's Homestead Farm in Bangor, said she opened the gate to her animal's enclosure to let a veterinarian come in to give her llama, Jeffrey, a dental cleaning. Jeffrey bolted through the open gate and took off up the road. Jeffrey saw it as an opportunity to make a jailbreak and just ran right past me, up to Stillwater, she told WABI-TV. He just wanted to get out of the field and see what was up the road. But he's generally pretty good. Bangor Police Department. Animal Control Officer Trish Bruin responded to a report of a llama on the loose in the area. It is possible that Jeffrey hasn't kept up on brushing and flossing twice a day and was embarrassed that the whole barn would soon know, the police department said in a Facebook post. Pesner said Jeffrey returned home on his own just before Bruin arrived. She said he came home from a different direction than the one he left in. I'm not sure of his adventure path, but when he came down from the other side of our house where he left from. Pesner said Jeffrey's brief escape was her farm's first since she bolstered her fences about 2 years ago. Prior to the upgrade, 2 of her pigs went out for a wander and ended up being brought home in a police car. California City aims to host world's largest water balloon fight. California Town is attempting to gather 10,000 people to break a Guinness World Record for the largest water balloon fight. Splash Fest, organized by nonprofit Balloons Over Bullets in Stockton, kicks off 2 p.m. Saturday, and organizers are hoping to amass at least 10,000 people at the event to throw 209,000 water balloons. Organizers are encouraging prospective participants to pre-register online. This record-breaking endeavor not only promises thrilling water-filled battles, but also carries a powerful message of promoting unity, nonviolence, and the importance of education and community engagement. The festival will include other water-themed attractions, such as giant slip-and-slides, a dunk tank, and water games. There will also be food trucks and live music. The current Guinness World Record for the largest water balloon was set by 8,957 people at the University of Kentucky in 2011. And that is it for What in Tarnation. Now, before we get to the devotional, I had someone who commented on my What Whip and Coffee last week about political views, political ideas, whatever should not be discussed on yarn channels. My channel is not just about yarn. So we all know that I'm very opinionated and I'm going to talk about things. So if you don't like it, unsubscribe. I hate to say that, but sometimes you just have to say what you're going to say. And in light of what has happened over this weekend, I think it's time for both sides of the fences to tone down their rhetoric. I find it rather interesting, some of the things that have been brought up this weekend over the events. And one of the things that was noted was that the shooter, would-be assassin, was registered Republican. However, he has videos out there on TikTok and I believe Instagram where he says he hates Republicans. But he also states that when he went to register to vote, that someone had told him to register, this was a Democrat, told him to register as a Republican so that they could show that the Republican Party was voting for Biden in a landslide. That's wrong, folks. It's just wrong. And I'm going to state that completely and fully. We have seen over the past 8 years a lot of rhetoric. When Donald Trump was voted in 2016, on Inauguration Day, there were massive protest violence in a lot of cities by those who did not support Trump. Burning, destroying buildings, breaking windows, injuring people. And then we have what everybody is calling the insurrection. But if you've actually really followed the case, what you would find is that one of the guards in the Senate office, or the congressional office they broke into, actually waves to the camera and tells them to unlock the magnetic door. And then invites people in. And there were a lot of FBI, CIA members that were included, came in. Created a lot of havoc. Some problems, started fights, and also helped to destroy a lot of things that were in that building. And of course, we have a couple of people that died as a result of that. Now, you have the right to protest peaceably. You don't have the right to throw riots, burn down cities, destroy people's livelihoods, break windows, and generally act like asses, regardless of what side of the fence you're on. So there you have it. We also have a lot of people who simply attended the rally, January the 6th. And that's all they did. Then they went home. And they're sitting in jail because of the corrupt judges and everything else. There is also a man that wasn't even in Washington, D.C., that is sitting in prison right now because of that, because all he did, he made a comment about it. Wasn't even there. So yeah, I got a lot of problems about that. Both sides. So we really need to stop the rhetoric. And I do find it interesting that we've seen a lot of it from both sides of the fence. Violence is not the answer. It definitely is not the answer. And if you're upset about the things that happen, we have to make a change in the way that we treat people, treat each other, even those that we disagree with. Your heart is in the wrong place if you have that much hatred in it. And you really need to fall to your knees and take care of your hatred in your heart, because that's uncalled for. You know, the division has been created and it's getting worse, and politicians ramp it up and they need to stop it. In fact, you know, since they were so busy trying to indict Trump for insurrection, they should all be charged with the same thing for all these riots and everything, because a lot of them are actually calling for it. We saw the left when Donald Trump was elected constantly, all those left-leaning Democrats, calling for them to punch out, take them out, anyone who supported Trump. Shame on you. Shame on them. Shame on the people who support that. So let's do better, people. You know, let's be a better people. Stop it. All right. Promises from God's heart. Promises from God's heart when you are obedient. But those who teach God's laws and obey them shall be great in the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:19. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He stores up success for the upright. He is a shield for those who live with integrity, so that he may guard the paths of justice and protect the way of his loyal followers. Proverbs 2:6-8. If you follow my statutes and faithfully observe my commands, I will give you rain at the right time, and the land will yield its produce, and the trees of the field will bear their fruit. Leviticus 26:3-4. If only you had obeyed my commandments, prosperity would have flowed to you like a river. Deliverance would have come to you like the waves of the sea. Isaiah 48:18. The one who keeps his commands remains in him, and he in him. And the way we know that he remains in us is from the Spirit he has given us. 1 John 3:24. Obey me, and I will be your God, and you shall be my people. Only do as I say, and all shall be well. Jeremiah 7:23. Though your sins are like scarlet, they'll be as white as snow. Though they are red as crimson, they will be like wool. If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good things of this land. Isaiah 1:18-19. For you, Lord, bless the righteous one. You surround him with favor like a shield. Psalm 5:12. And that is it for today's video. Everybody, have a great week. Try to be a little kinder to one another, because this has been a hard week for everybody. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.